Welcome back. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Jason, and I'm joined by Cassidy and Gage here at Drum Percussion Studio. Of course, you know that because you're one of our regular students, unless somebody cheated and got you like some of the black market videos or something like that, and you're like someplace. Okay, I won't go there. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in. And I hope that you've been practicing along at home with everything while you've been cooped up in your houses and stuff. Remember, you can always go back and check these videos out later. If there's something that you missed or wanted to take a second chance at and want to go back and try it again, make sure you do that. Watch them as many times as you want. And feel free to check out other classes too. So this is your chance to see what's going on in all of the other classes. So we are working with Explorations in Rhythm B and the adult class. So they're working on a lot of the same stuff right now. So last time we got together, we talked about some instruments from Brazil. They were big. We said they were the biggest ones. They played those low bass notes. We said that they were basically Brazilian bass drums. Of course, I am talking about the surdus. Yes, I hope you shouted that at home. The surdus. The surdus were the big Brazilian bass drums we talked about last time. And then I also played a smaller drum that looked kind of like a surdu, but it had a really high-pitched sound. And we said that that was used by the leader of the group, kind of like the conductor. We call it the mestre de samba, to kind of tell everybody what to do to start and stop and make changes. That instrument, of course, was the hepaniki or the hepiki. All right, so we're going to move on today. We're going to do some new instruments. And then when we get together next week, we're going to put all that stuff together in our big samba school. So for this week, let's go ahead and get warmed up before we go any further. So we got some new beats. Again, Gage has been providing us with these sick beats, okay? So we're going to do these. And we practiced to an exercise last week or last time we got together called 8 on a hand. We've done that a lot in our classes. I'm going to start with that, but then I want to do one other exercise after that. So go ahead, get yourself ready. You can either play on your legs like we're going to do. That's the way that we always start out in class. If you really want to use some sticks, you can, but if you play on your legs, it'll give you a chance to really hear what's going on. So go ahead, get yourself ready. When you hear the sick beats, go to your set position, and I'll lead you from there. All right, get that music in your head. You hear that? There's a nice cymbal on beat 1 every time, so you know where you're at. All right, we're going to play 8 on a hand together. So go to your set position, 8 on the right, 8 on the left, 8 more on the right, 8 more on the left, 16ths alternating for 2 measures. All right, 1 and 2 and ready, here we go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now back and forth, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, back to the top. It's your right hand and then your left hand. To the right hand. Left hand. Here we go. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Back to the top. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Can you say it with us? Go. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2. Now the 16s go. It's a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 and a 2 and a 1 more set. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. It up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time, ready and please. All right. Cool. All right. So I said I wanted to do a second one with you. So that was 8 on a hand. We've done that quite a bit. This is something a little bit newer. We call it accent tap. There's a lot of different ways to do this. We're going to do our shortened version for right now. If you don't know what an accent is, don't worry. It's a louder note. And to make a louder note, we bring our hand or our stick up higher. So we call those accents. And then taps would be the exact opposite. We want a very low, soft note. We just gently tap our stick or our hand. So we're going to play 4 accents and 4 taps. So what I mean is we're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do the same thing on our left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do it all again. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to do that over and over until I tell you to stop. So 1 measure on each hand, and the first half of the measure is accents, and then beats 3 and 4 and are going to be the taps. All right. Same funky beats. When you hear the music, go to set position. All right, so in your head, start thinking those 8th notes, and 2 and 3 and 4. All right, go to your set position. 4 accents, 4 taps. 1, 2, right hand first. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2. There you go. So nice and big, really soft. Big and soft. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and count with us. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 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 1 and 2 and 3 1 and 2. All right, last time. Ready and stop. Cool. All right, once again, that was called accent tap. So we worked on the big high notes that have a louder sound, and those are the accents, and then the little notes, it's just a little tiny tap. Those are the soft notes. So practice that some on your own. We'll probably do that again when we get together next week. But we got a lot of stuff to cover right now. So we're back in Brazil. We talked about the surdus and the repique last time. This time, we're going to talk a bit about some of the smaller instruments that add a lot of color to the music, that add some melody and help add some other rhythmic elements and stuff like that. So check this out. Let me get these out of my way. I'm going to start this guy right here. So this instrument is called the tambourine. Now, I know if you have some friends or brothers and sisters in Miss Cassidy's wee drum classes, she's talked about this instrument before. Have you talked about it in explorations yet?
Not this semester, but
okay.
Yeah, last semester.
Yeah, so if you're around last year, you might remember this. So the tambourine is kind of the complete opposite of the surdus. The surdus are the big, low drums. Well, this is the little tiny high-pitched drum. So I'm going to hold it in one hand, and in the hand that I write with, whatever I do my writing with, for me, that's my right hand, is the one I'm going to hold the stick with, because I can do a little bit more with that hand. And then I'm going to hit the tips of this stick. Now look, this is a special stick. This is a baqueta. This is a special stick for the tambourine. It's made out of plastic. It's got like 3 little prongs. They make them with different numbers, sometimes 5, 7, 9, things like that. Big fan of the odd numbers. All right, so if you notice, this one has a little circle here. I'm going to think of that as my bullseye. I'm going to hit right in the middle. So I can get kind of fancy and actually can twist the drum and hit the drum onto the stick. That's a fancy thing that some really advanced tambourine players do, okay? Now, let me go back and say that again. This is called the tambourine, not the tambourine. It doesn't have any jingles, okay? It's not a tambourine, but it's a tambourine, okay? So I'm going to hold the tambourine in one hand, hold the stick in the other hand, and for right now, our rhythm is going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So I'm going to play that over and over. Now, here's the thing. I know that you may not have a tambourine at home. Some of you do. Allison, I know you got one. So instead of playing a tambourine, you could grab, do we have something back there? No. Let's see. We got some cool stuff back here. Check this out. So one of the things that I love about Cassidy's We Drum class is they get to make a bunch of really cool projects. So a while back, I think it was about a year ago or so, they made some tambourines. And here, I'll get out of the way. Can you tell them how you did that?
Yeah, so we made this tambourine out of the top part of an empty coffee can. Those big coffee cans that you might get at the store to last you a little while. And we just cut the top off to make it the right size. And we use our chopstick here. And you can hold it and play it just like the real tambourine.
Yeah, and so that was a cardboard.
Yeah,
coffee can, right?
cardboard coffee can that we were able to just cut with a straight blade.
Cool. All right, so I'm going to play the tambourine, the Brazilian tambourine. Cassidy's going to play the coffee can tambourine. So I'm sure that you guys can find something at home and you can make that on your own. And we're going to play this rhythm. I'm going to write it down. I've got it written down, actually. Look at that. Look at that. Bam. There we go. I think we just lost Gage when I did that, but we'll get him back.
I'm not playing anything.
All right. I don't know how well you can see that. We got a bit of a glare. There we go. So the tambourine part is going to be right here at the top. And I wrote it with these X's, okay? And we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We're going to do that over and over. All right, so go ahead. Grab your real tambourine. Grab your coffee can tambourine, or grab these guys. Hey, let me slide out of the way. Gage, let's get you in a shot or something. All right, there we go. Cool. All right, so you can clap your hands if you don't have any of that. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and go. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Last time, ready, and stop. Cool. So that's our tambourine rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. There's lots and lots of really cool funky rhythms you can play with it, but that's the one that we're going to use right now to get us going. And then we're going to move to the next instrument on that list. So it says agogo. Some of you might know what that is already. These are really cool because they add some melody to what we're doing. Do you mind handing me some agogo bells? So check this out, and get a stick going in just a second. But look, these are the agogo bells. You see that? All right. So it's kind of like a cowbell or a pair of cowbells, and they're going to be our melody. Ooh, thank you very much. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to hold them in one hand, and just like with the tambourine, I play with my right hand, or I write with my right hand. So I'm going to put the stick in my right hand, and I'm going to play some melodies on the agogo bells. And do some really cool stuff with those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold these kind of like a giant ice cream cone, okay? Right there in my hand, and then I'm going to turn it sideways so that I can hit the bells. I'm going to turn it right in front of me, hold my stick, basically like the way I hold any drumstick. I don't want to hit my finger, so watch out for that. And I'm going to go back and forth between the high and the low, okay? And the rhythm that I'm going to play right now is the one that I wrote on the board for you right there. And that's going to be 1, a 2, and 1 and 2, and high, high, low, low, high, high, low, low. So let me play that with you. 1, 2, ready, and go. It's high. One, two, here we go. All right, so that's the agogo. Now, if you don't have agogo bells at home, check this out. All right, look at this. This is super cool. Cassidy, I should let you tell them about this one because this was another project. We Drum is so cool, man. Don't you wish that you were 2 to 4 years old again? Check this out. I'll get out of the way and let her tell you.
So we made these instruments in the We Drum class as well to kind of be a homemade version of the agogo bells that Jason was just playing. So of course we made it out of some tin cans. We've got a little one and a bigger, more regular size, and we used some nuts and bolts and screws and washers, and we had to use our screwdrivers in there. We used our tools, and you can use a pencil, you can use a chopstick, whatever, but you play it just like Jason was playing the go-go bells.
Cool. So you can make some of those at home if you're looking for a project. So why don't we do this? I'm going to pass these to Gage. He's going to get the real ones. All right. Cassidy's got the homemade ones, and I've got the, I don't know, this is what you do if you don't have anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play with my hands and my legs. So if I was going to interpret that rhythm to have a high sound, I could do my hands as a clap. And then my low sounds, I'm going to do right down here on my leg. So I've got high, high, low, low, high, low, low. So do whatever you need to do at home. If you've got some real go-go bells, play along with Gage. If you got some homemade ones, maybe you're one of our veteran WE students, or maybe our Young Explorations A students who have graduated that may have made this a year or two ago, you can grab one of those. Or if you got none of that, at least join me with your hands. So here we go. Let's take it from the top. We're going to play the go-go bell rhythm right there on your music. It's 1, a 2, and 1 and 2, and high, high, low, low, high, high, low, low. All right, set position. 1, 2, ready, here we go. And high. Cool. So those are the go-go bells, and a really popular rhythm amongst many, 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 many different rhythms you could play. All right. So next on my list is the Hoka. Now, I know it doesn't look like that when it's written there on the board. Check this out. If you're following along, it's this one right there. ROCAR. What is that? Rocar? No. Remember we said that they speak Portuguese in Brazil. So that is the Hoka. So the R sounds a lot like an H. So the Hoka. What in the world is a Hoka? I don't know. Let's see. Let me see if I can use my magic powers. So I'm going to count to 4, and I bet magically a Hoka will appear. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa. Check it out. The floating Hoka. Yeah, we don't spare any expense. We got all the special effects. Come on. It's a drum percussion studio, people. Come on. All right. So this is our Hoka. So check that out. Look at that thing. That's pretty cool. So what is that? What's going on? So it's got all these jingles there. So those are the same type of jingles that you might find on a tambourine that you shake, okay, or a Brazilian pandeiro. All right, so this is the Hoka, and so it's going to be played a lot like a giant shaker. All right, so I'm back up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this thing loaded up, and I'm going to pretend to throw those jingles. So I'm going to go out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Hoka, all right? So check this out, though. If you don't have a Hoka, you might have one of these. What is this thing? What is that? No, it's not a ruler. Come on, guys. What is that? Oh, a yardstick. Yeah, that's right. So this is probably one of my favorite instruments in the studio. If you've been wondering out of all these instruments what my favorite is, this is one of them. All right, this is the Hoka. Check it out. Turn it sideways. Look at that. It's got all these flattened caps. I think those are from Coca-Cola. Pretty sure. Yeah, it's definitely Coca-Cola. And we flatten these things. We hit them with the hammer over and over. So you know who made these? It was me and Cassidy and Cassidy's husband, Chance. We made all these. We spent hours and hours flattening these Coca-Cola bottle caps. And then we paint them. We drilled holes in them, put them together, put them on this yardstick. This is actually... It's got some history here. This is one of the ways that Cassidy and I met. Oh, Remember that day?
Mm-hmm.
When she was a teacher at one of her former
It
schools.
lasted a few days.
It was, yeah, I know, it took
It was a few-day
forever.
project.
Took a long time. But this was a cool project that we got to do for her school when she was a teacher at Green Charter School. We were doing a really cool STEM or STEAM project where we were talking about recycling and finding things that maybe didn't have a lot of uses and bringing them to life and giving them new uses and new life. So this is our homemade hookah made out of bottle caps and yardsticks. And then, can I borrow this, Gage? If you've seen us at any of the festivals around town, especially at the Imagine Upstate Festival, we love to do crafts with people. And so we made little miniature pocket hookahs. So it's the same design in a 3-inch format. And at that point, that's when Cassidy and I realized that instead of spending hours and hours hitting those bottle caps with hammers and hitting our fingers and trying to drill the holes and getting cut up, that you could actually order these things very cheaply, pre-flattened, and get the hole drilled. Yeah. So, all right. So this is our pocket hookah. All right. So we're going to use our hookahs now. So let's see. Want this one? Yeah. Sure. Want this one? Yeah. That's a good one. All right, we're going to play our Polka. So find something at home. And, if you don't have any of those, you can grab any kind of shaker. All right? So we're going to play this together. And if you notice in our music there, we got those fast notes, those 16th notes where we count 1 iana, 2 iana, 1 iana, 2 iana, just like we did with our hands at the very beginning of class when we played our warm-up doing 8 on the hand. All right, so here we go. We're going to play our Hoka rhythm. 1 iana, 2 iana, ready and go. And 1, 2. All right, so that's the Hoka. I got one more instrument for you guys. All right, these guys right here. I don't know, these might be some of my favorites too. I don't know, I can't choose. That's why I got so many. See that? Looks like a little basket, like a little Easter basket. Picnic basket. The bottom has a piece of gourd. Sometimes people use pieces of coconut too. And inside are little seeds or beads. You can put just about anything. And you can play it like a regular shaker. But remember those accents that we talked about? Accent tap at the beginning? Those are those louder notes. So when you play it so that the seeds hit the bottom, that makes the note louder or it makes it accented. These are the kashishi. You do a lot of cool things. These are the kashishi. So they're right here. I know it doesn't look like it. It looks like kaksiksiks or something like that. So the X has like a SH sound, like shh. So that's the kashishi. So those are going to play the really cool offbeats on the and. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Those are the kashishi. Now, if you don't have your own kashishi, check it out. You guys know what this is? So these are little water bottles that we filled. This one has rice and beans in it. This one was a gift from one of our students. They made it all colorful, all kinds of cool stuff. They got some little bells and all kinds of stuff. I like that you can also make them say their name. Kashishi, 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 kashishi. So grab whatever you have for kashishi. All right, you guys each want one? All right, so grab some kashishi. And we're going to play the offbeats, the ands. So we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? We're going to pretend to throw them, all right, on the and. So after the number every time. Let's try it. 1 and 2 and ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 2. Last time, ready and start. Cool. All right, so now we walk through each of those. This is when it gets super cool. We get to put them together, and that's when it starts to really sound like music. So looks like Cassidy's getting ready. She's heading back to the surdos. I'm going to get this music out of the way so you can really see her. She's going to the surdos. All right, so let's see. Gage, you want to play the real Go-Go Bells?
Sure.
All right, let's grab those. All right, let's see. How about Gage? Why don't we do this? So there's 3 of us. That's why we need you guys here in class. All right, how about Gage? You can switch off.
Okay.
He's got the Go-Go's and the Tambourines, and you're a lot bigger than me, so you're gonna have to slide back a little bit. I'm a short dude, so he's just a lot taller than me, so we don't cut his head off in the video. And I'm gonna play. I'm gonna do like this one best, and the she. All right, cool. All right, so Cassidy, take it away. She's gonna play all 3 surdos at the same time. She'll get us started. One.
Switch off every like 4 measures.
Yeah, what it be like, man? So if you're at home, he's gonna keep you on your toes. Okay, you don't know what he's gonna do. Okay. All right, we'll start with Cassidy first, though. 1, 2, and ready and go. And all right, and then how about? I know you got the Go-Go's in your hand. How about, if you don't mind, we'll go with the tambourine first, so they can get into that. Remember, this is going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3. Yes. All right, and I'm going to keep it going with the 16. All right, and then the offbeat. All right, and if you've been waiting for that Go-Go, let me hear you yell, yay! Switch to the Go-Go! All right, 1, 2, go, go, go! All right. 1, 2, ready, and awesome. So those were some of our Brazilian instruments, some of the really cool smaller instruments that help us add to the rhythm, add some extra color to the mix. So I hope you guys had fun with that. Go back to the beginning if you want to see the different rhythms written out. Remember, you can rewind this and just watch it a million times, share it with your friends and everything. Hope you guys had fun. Stay safe. Next time we get together, we're going to put all this stuff together, and we're going to have a big Brazilian samba. All right. So thank you guys very much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next time. Bye. It felt like it was